Hey everybody, this is Oki MGTOW here, and I'm doing a response to this woman, Mia Lesko. Her name was Samantha Dixon. She looks like a black Latina, the Goth vampire. Who knows? And who knows why she changed her name? I mean, really, who knows? Women are crazy anyway. The hot versus crazy matrix. She's all the way on low end of the hot, all the way on the crazy. So she did. So this is MGTOW versus feminism. So I watched the whole thing. I have 3 pages of notes sitting in the extra bedroom, which is now my workout room while this pandemic is going on. So check out some good view there. And okay, so second note, this video is requested by Celibate Scorpio Going Her Own Way, and from what I understand, this woman, Celibate Scorpio Going Her Own Way, tried to basically come into the MGTOW community and talk shit, I think a couple of years ago before I became MGTOW and started going my own way, and now she's messaging these women to basically make their own YouTube channels, to come out of the woodwork, now in 2020, trying to shame men for who knows why. And, bug can't come into the house there. And, and these women, they're not doing actual research, because MGTOW is one of those concepts where, so she says that she couldn't really find any good MGTOW videos because they're all labeled as hate speech by YouTube. Well, that's the case because anything that goes against the mainstream, blue pill, matrix, is going to be hate speech. And when it comes to women, so this is one of the main principles as to why we're never going to get ahead, going back to trying to rebuild society, unless we all change, is because it's now being, women are now, or were before, but are now especially seen as children, and they need to be protected by men, and men need to be white knights, all that stuff. And so women need all these entitlements from the government, and they need big daddy government to protect and save them. So women need to be saved. I think that's one of the first main problems, because now we're basically, being forced to treat women like children. And so they're all growing up in these, new generations, the Zoomers, millennials, whatever. And I'm a millennial, just at the end of that. So, women need all these entitlements, all that stuff. And that is really not doing anyone any favors. Okay. So, MGTOW is so at 1 minute 58, around there. I even wrote down the timestamps, and this is just chicken scratch from what I wrote down, so they're not exact quotes, just what I could gather here. MGTOW is anti-feminist, anti-women, and we're swearing off all women, and because we hate women. Okay. Now, MGTOW do not hate women. MGTOW is a very simple philosophy, a very simple lifestyle that says no kids, no cohabitation, and no marriage. How you live your life outside of that is 100% up to you. So if you still want a short-term date, all that jazz, we still love women and still, want to be with women. It's just that the legal and financial risk of signing a marriage contract, signing a rental lease, signing a mortgage with a woman, signing a car purchase with a woman, it's just too risky, because the court can take it all, and it's not because even if the woman doesn't want to totally destroy you, she will be pushed to destroy you by the lawyers and the judge. Okay, so it's not just the family court laws, but it's also the lawyers and the judges, because they're the ones that get the money out of this. It always comes back to money, and men are the ones who have the money. Okay, it's all about redistribution of wealth from men to women, because the lawyers and the judges think that women need to be saved. They think they're being chivalrous white knights, and this is very dangerous. So we are not anti-woman, okay? But feminism is a interesting issue because feminism is all about empowering women by degrading men, okay? And that's really it. There is no equality. There is no balance, okay? It's all about how the system can redistribute wealth and status from men to women. Okay, 244. Feminism is about empowering a person's self. No, it's about empowering women. Humans first, women second. The system doesn't give a shit if you're human, Zeta Reticuli, Pleiadian. Once you're born with, social security card, birth certificate, all this stuff, you are a corporation, and you have a straw man, so when you sign your name in capitals, you are not signing your name as a person, as a sovereign individual. You are a corporation, a company in the eyes of the government apparatus. Okay, we are suppressing women, okay? And we're doing this because we have mental problems, in her words, or my paraphrase of her words. We're doing this because we have mental problems that because of bad childhoods. For me, so I'm going to use the outlier argument that solipsistic women do. My childhood was great. My parents are awesome. I have an even better relationship now with my parents than I did when I was a kid because I was trying to be a rebellious kid like all kids do. My mom is the strongest, most caring, most loving woman I'll ever know. And she's now 70, and she's way stronger, way more hardworking, way more loving than my wife was. Okay, and just another one. 351, feminism is not about hating men, and this woman is Mia Lesko, Samantha Dixon, who knows what her real name is. She's not a feminist. Okay, even if she is not joining these pussy hat feminist marches, her ideas are still feminist. She's still indoctrinated into the feminist camp via just living in society. Because feminism is so pushed now, that the mass majority of women are feminists. That virus is always there, okay? Because it's indoctrinated into you as kids, from being kids, from the public school indoctrination camp, okay? So I would not trust any woman that says she is a traditional conservative. She goes to a Christian church, especially the mega churches. Trust no woman from a mega church. That's pretty open knowledge there. So, 427, she goes on this tirade about how women were seen as mentally ill if she wanted to have an education, if she wanted to have sex, outside of being in a traditional family. That could land you in a mental hospital. Who knows? That could just be female solipsism. But yeah, as in the old age, having a family, that was done because, in my opinion, out of survival, and in a family unit, it's been well known for years that having both parents, a mother and a father, is absolutely essential to proper child rearing. And that's why today, with single moms, the statistics, there's a great video from Stefan Molyneux of 2015 called The Truth About Single Moms, and he shows all the statistics about why single moms are a plague on society. And even if you don't have both parents, having a single dad, the kid has better outcomes. So, 712, you can tell us 3 minutes of worthlessness in there. 712. If a woman was barren, she couldn't have any kids, she was worthless. Now she isn't because of adoption and IVF. Okay, we can go into the whole thing about the wall, about how women, after they hit 30, 90% of their eggs are gone. Okay, so now women are being told, okay, so you need to go to school, get an education, take out $160,000 in student loans to go to the Ivy League school of your dreams, and you're going to get a degree in gender studies or some other humanities degree. It's going to pay you nothing. You're going to come out already in debt, already screwed for life. You're not even going to make enough money to pay the interest on the loan, so it's going to have compounded interest on interest. And then so because she didn't do her job figuring out how student loans work and what the job market is, then she's, this entitled princess who needs to be saved. She needs to find a man who earns so much money that he can pay off her student loans. And so now, with women who are over 30 now in the careers looking for kids, to find a man to have kids with, yes, and that is why, and that's a horrible idea, and these things cost money. Most of the times she doesn't have the money, not because of a gender pay gap, but because she's screwed up her life so far and needs a man to rescue her. So here's the thing: women need a man to rescue them. Either it's an actual man she marries, and he's a simp, pays off her student loan debt, and then she kills all the sex so that she can use sex as a weapon in the relationship, or she uses entitlements through Big Daddy government to save her. IVF costs money. Adoption costs money, costs time. The older you are when you have a kid, the higher chance of medical risks there are going to be, which means higher medical bills. I don't think anyone actually wants to have a C-section, for example, which is, from what I've heard and studied, that's forced on a lot of women in the moment, and then added to the bill afterwards because the hospital needs money. The medical system needs to make money. The government needs to make money. Okay? You can look at the gender tax gap, where the mass majority of taxes are paid by men. The mass majority of tax revenue is redistributed to women through entitlement programs. Okay. So she says, it's not about, or this is all paraphrased. This is my notes. Chicken scratch. It's not about being MGTOW. It's not about MGTOW being misogynist. Can I even read my own writing? Jeez. It's not about a MGTOW being misogynist, but about what we don't get about feminism. No, we get feminism. She doesn't. She doesn't understand that feminism is purely about empowering men, or is about empowering women at the cost of men. Okay, and then she says, 8:15, that a wife is not about sitting on a shelf and looking pretty, but being a human and learning. Yes, we are so tired of these women. That I agree with, because we're so tired, well, in a way, so tired of these women that just go, I'm going to have all these fake nails, fake eyelashes, makeup, war paint, all that stuff. And I think that I am entitled to the greatest man, even though I am the worst woman. And you can see all this on dating apps and shit, and even if she doesn't have kids, she'll still have this idea. If she becomes a single mom, because she's a victim, then it'll be the same thing. She needs a man's money while giving nothing in return. So it's the idea where women want more and more and more from men, but provide less and less and less to men in return. Let's see. Oh, she says, men never have to prove their humanity, and women treated not like human in prior generations. Okay, I want to go over, in response to this, I want to go over how women are born with everything already. Their value is high from young age, okay? Because their value is femininity, fertility, and virtue. So as they age and their eggs go away, then their value becomes less, because a woman's real value is in fertility, okay? Whereas men have to always prove themselves to society, to women, by looks, money, and status, okay? A woman would not take a man to start a family if he did not have looks, money, and status. Whereas all she has to do is open her legs. Okay? Okay? Okay, then she goes on this tirade about how women need equal pay because they're the ones that are going to, take off work to take kids to doctor's appointments, whereas men won't. Men will be looked down upon if they do that, all that jazz. Well, the thing is, so to respond to that, I want to go on to this idea that this is what's happening in real life. Not in her brain, but in real life. Where, because of people both needing to work, so in the household, in a standard American household, both people now have to work. Okay? Does it cost so much to buy a house, etc.? It costs so much to have kids, etc. Okay? A woman will always look for a man who earns more money than she does. Okay? That's just the way it is. And for certain women, society has invested a lot of money in women to become doctors, lawyers, and other high-paying positions that require, master's degrees, PhDs, etc. So the only men in her dating pool have to have higher looks, money, and status than her, because women cannot date down. It's called when men do it, it's called dating down. That was on one of those CBS Good Morning or one of those. It was glorious. Even those old blue pill guys were able to figure out extremely fast, which is surprising. And so, it's the woman's job as the mother to take the kids to the doctor's appointments, especially if the man earns more money than she does. His career is more valuable to the family than hers is. Okay. Now she says, okay, being a stay-at-home mom is a job. Being a stay-at-home mom is absolutely a job. And that's why I said before, when a woman is applying to be your wife, because men hold the keys to commitment, women hold the keys to sex, okay, then a man needs to look at and say, okay, what are the job duties, what are the skills required, the experience required, the education required, okay, so that she can do this job. Being a stay-at-home mom and a traditional housewife is 100% a job, and the modern woman does not understand this, because she expects to just be a princess whose bills are paid for. She doesn't have to do much. You can look up another MGTOW guy, I think his name's Before You Sleep, has a great video called the MGTOW Guide to the Modern Housewife, where there's Marie Kondo, that tidy up woman, has a new show on TLC, and she has an episode that basically shows how lazy the modern stay-at-home mom is, which is my experience and the experience of many other men out there. And yes, being a stay-at-home mom is 100% a job. You have these job duties. You have these skills required. However, it's not like in the old days where you had to manually go out with a washboard and some Zote soap or some homemade soap and go wash clothes. Men have made it easy for women by inventing, the washing machine, the dishwasher, the electric and gas dryer, the stove, the modern gas and electric stove. You don't have to keep putting wood in a wood-fired stove. Use the surface on top of it to actually cook. Okay, so life is so much easier now than it used to be. The domestic duties of the household take so much less time than they used to, and you can also multitask. She can be cooking while the laundry is going. Okay, I do this too. I'll get the laundry going. Okay, and then I cook. I get the dishes going at night in the dishwasher. Okay, you can have multiple things going on at once because they're all in machines now. Makes life easy, yes. Okay. And then in closing, she says, we're ungrateful as men. We're haters. Feminists are not the enemy. Feminists are 100% the enemy. Women are not an enemy. And MGTOW is suppressing women. And this is interesting. MGTOW is suppressing women. Okay, how are we suppressing women? It's because, so to me, my interpretation of this is that we're suppressing women because they need us more than we need them. A man can be self-sufficient, but a woman needs a man's attention, time, and money. Okay, and that's really it. And so, let's see what else. Man up, the typical shaming language. Man up, be a grown man. Stop touching women without consent. No one's doing that, okay? The age of cold approaching is gone because of the Me Too movement. And even the Me Too movement has been proven to be a total farce and a political move, okay? These women went on the casting couch, fucked to get these roles, and that's just it. And once they were actually had to use their skills instead of sex, then they got mad and created the Me Too movement. And also, rape allegations, domestic violence allegations are far worse in Europe than they are here. Spain is like decimated because of that. You know, it's even here it's bad. Europe, Canada, Australia, this stuff is all even worse. So yeah, she ends with the typical shaming language. You know, you can listen to old Tom Likas recordings. It's all typical shaming language. See, to women, a man is a utility, okay, for attention, time, and money. Women are all about external validation, and they need a man to have more looks, money, and status than she does, so that he becomes a status symbol for her and raises her status. Oh, excuse me. And so the fact that men are walking away, this is dangerous to women because we're just not giving them our attention, time, and money anymore because they aren't worth our attention, time, and money. Women need to raise the game to get us back on the plantation, okay? Or else the whole society is done. All right, so MGTOW signing out. Goodbye.